Chapter 1. On March 15th, 1997, Mickey Ibsen turned 32. And on that day, like, like on most days of his life, Mickey Ibsen's father abused him. The abuse was not sexual, it was no longer physical abuse. It was the most damaging abuse of all, the abuse of the human spirit. The intersection at Woodward Avenue and 8 Mile Road was where Mickey worked. He would stand on the turn lane during morning rush hour when traffic was not permitted to make left or right hand turns until after 10 a.m. Mickey wore a dingy Red Wings jersey. 3 summers ago, he spotted it on a rack in a Goodwill store. In order to wear Gordie Howe's number 9 on his back, Mickey endured 2 days without solid food. Mickey held a squeegee in one hand and a blue bucket filled with watered down Windex in the other. Mickey was not born in the streets, but he learned to adapt to the life of a down and outer, with its con men, cops, and low rent courtesans, in order to survive. He stood there, needing a shower, a shave, and a brand new life. A born ideas man, Mickey figured out a way to make it more convenient for his customers to pay him for his services. He accomplished this by attaching his tin cup, an empty Maxwell House coffee can, to the side of his bucket. That meant he only had to turn his bucket to the driver to receive his hands free tip. Occasionally, a driver would miss the tip cup and a wet dollar bill would float atop Mickey's bucket, or loose change would sink to the bottom. In 1997, the month of March had been hot and sunny. After 10 days of zero precipitation, late last night it finally rained. That meant a lot of dirty windshields and, for Mickey, a lot of $1 bills. Mickey went to work. Within an hour, he had wiped and dried a dozen car windows, doing so with a disarming smile and a friendly nod. During a break in the flow of traffic, Mickey twisted open a bottle of Fago Cola. He took a sip while admiring the amount of dollar bills that had accumulated in his tin cup. A 1985 Chevrolet Impala was among the next wave of vehicles to stop for a red light. The car was a Raven black four-door, in mint condition, with tricked-out chrome wheel spinners. It was driven by one of Mickey's regulars, a low-level drug dealer who was as affable as his hardcore business could allow him to be. He rolled down his driver's side window as Mickey went to work on his front windshield. When Mickey was finished, he approached the driver's side window with his can. The driver took pity on Mickey and his dingy clothes. "If you ever want to make more than chump change, come clock on one of my corners." "Not my style." The driver accepted this and placed a dollar bill in Mickey's tin can. "Come on, bro. It's my birthday." "Man, you played the my birthday card last week. I was born prematurely." The driver laughed and added a $10 bill to Mickey's tip. "Don't ever say my people don't tip well." "That depends." "On what?" "Next week is National Tip Week." "You a real businessman." The light turned green. The driver gave Mickey a nod and led the rest of the traffic away as if he were the pace car at the Indianapolis 500. It was now humid, so Mickey took another sip of cola. It had turned warm. Then Mickey heard a familiar voice. It came from behind him. "I remember the night you were conceived." Mickey turned. An apparition of his father stood on the yellow turn lane, some 20 feet away. Although a booze and hooker induced heart attack had put Frank Ibsen in his grave 12 years earlier, he was still very much alive in Mickey's heart, mind, and soul. Only Mickey could see Frank Ibsen. Only Mickey could hear him. Frank Ibsen was middle aged, drill sergeant tough, with bitter blue collar eyes. A folded newspaper stuck out of the pocket of his plaid robe, which exposed his hairy chest and red polka dot shorts. He wore black dressed socks and leather flip flops. A can of Stroh's beer and a cheap cigar occupied both of his stubby hands. He was a man with black hair, black eyes, and a blacker heart. When I ejaculated inside your mother, my first thought was, this one feels different. Inferior. Like a goddamn bum. Frank Ibsen's ghost slowly faded into thin air, but not before uttering a twisted goodbye that hurt Mickey to his core. I should have jerked off that night. Why did Frank Ibsen treat his only son this way? A son who idolized his father. A son who felt a sudden need to drink something stronger than a diet soda. Something with a high alcohol content.